Your digestive system does not treat fruit the way it does refined sugars. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. Quick reminder, if you guys would click like down below, it would be greatly appreciated. Please follow or subscribe to me if you haven't already, and I would also greatly appreciate it if you would drop a comment down below. Thank you. So let's get over to the topic. People misunderstand, and I've done a lot of videos on this discussing fructose metabolism. They really misunderstand why we're concerned with sugars. It's not, let me be clear, it's not because of the initial insulin response. If that was the case, things like potatoes, white rice, all these foods that are in no way associated with obesity, diabetes, any of that, anywhere in the world, okay, would create these problems. So that's not what we're concerned with. Okay, because again, quick rise in blood sugar for someone who's fit and lean and athletic in the form of starches and just pure glucose is absolutely just not a problem for our species. We thrive on that. Again, anyone who doesn't understand that, or if you just want anecdote instead of the biology, look at Asia. There are tons of Asian countries where white rice is a staple primary calorie source where virtually nobody is overweight. Right? It's actually really, really hard to get fat on rice. Just noting that. It's also hard to become diabetic from it, like a type 2 diabetic. Very, very difficult. So back over to the point, what is our concern? Our concern is with the fructose. Now, again, I get it, guys. The word fructose is, fruit sugars. And yes, there is fructose in fruit. So again, this creates some confusion. So people are like, oh, well, it's sugars. But then people also get hung up in, oh, well, it's about natural sugars versus synthetic. Well, no, it's not even that either. It's not even that either. I mean, technically, we could absolutely engineer in a lab sugars that do not create this problem that would be nothing that exists in nature. So that's not even the point either. It's about being in the matrix of a whole food. So in short, what we're concerned with is free fructose reaching your bloodstream, right, in excessive quantities. It's not even in small amounts, actually. Body can handle small amounts of fructose. Even the liver can handle small amounts of fructose. So the problem is that most of the cells in our body don't burn fructose. They burn glucose as a fuel source. In some cases, they can burn lipids and triglycerides and things, but they prefer glucose. Fructose is a different structure of sugar. And accordingly, your body treats it a little bit like a poison. And I do mean that literally. So your liver literally puts it through the same process that it does alcohol, which is why large amounts of refined sugar is associated with non-alcoholic fatty liver and metabolic syndrome. So in other words, consuming massive amounts of refined sugar causes fatty liver and can, in theory, eventually cause sclerosis of the liver, just like an alcoholic. Literally through the exact same metabolic pathway. Because your liver has to convert it into glucose. Your liver also converts alcohol into glucose also for you. Like your liver is what does it. So your liver kind of detoxes it and turns the fructose into glucose for you. Okay, but it puts a load on it. And our livers are very, very resilient. They're very resilient, but they can only handle so much, just like a poison like alcohol, right? Your liver can handle a little bit, but it can't handle a whole lot for a long period of time. It starts to have problems, all right? Refined sugar is no different. So people are like, well, I eat whatever these 4 spoons of sugar every day, 5, whatever they're consuming. Yeah, that takes a toll on your liver, just like having a few shots does. So just be aware of that. So that's where our concern is. And this is pretty well understood. And it also is what elevates your triglycerides and things like that. So it's not all sugars. It has to do with how much fructose specifically is reaching the bloodstream and getting to the liver. That is the entirety of the discussion. Okay? So what's the difference between fruit and that? Well, with any sort of refined sugar, whether it's sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, honey, whatever, by the way, you can't tell them apart after the stomach acid hits it. So people want to differentiate between them. No, there's no difference at all. As soon as the stomach acids hit them, you can't tell what it was. Like if you were to go take some stomach acid, put it in a vial, put table sugar in one, high fructose corn syrup in the other, mix it with it, and then test it afterwards, you would not be able to really tell them apart easily. Like chemically, we're now back to just straight glucose and fructose floating around in the stomach acid. All right, the problem is the free fructose unbound. All right, your stomach acids sort that real quick. They sort it within seconds. So, like literally within seconds when they make contact with it. So what happens is it gets absorbed in the upper intestine. Fructose goes straight to the bloodstream. So why is fruit different? We have to digest it. Like that's the main difference. So even though someone might say, well, Jason, I mean, there's this fruit over here. If you ate this amount of it, you're going to get 25 grams of fructose. That's like as much as two spoons full of table sugar. I'm like, yeah, but you're not absorbing it in the upper intestine. Why? The fruit is still mostly fruit after your stomach acids hit it. What? So it has to go through the upper intestine. You're going to get a little bit of it. Like a little bit of it's going to be broken down, but it's very small. It's a very small percentage. So it reaches the lower intestine in our gut. Well, what happens there? Well, if you have healthy gut biome, it ferments it. Like a lot of the bacteria in your gut actually likes fiber, it likes fructose, it likes these different things as fuel. So these bacteria, the good bacteria, will ferment the fructose and turn it into glucose. They'll eat some of it, okay? They'll eat some of it for fuel, and then they'll convert it into glucose, and now you have normal glucose being absorbed in the lower intestine. Also note it's going to absorb slower because it's going to take more time, right? So it's breaking it down, and then you get all this lovely glucose, which is our body's preferred fuel source. Like we thrive on glucose. So anyone who's trying to tell you that the human body doesn't thrive on glucose is insane. And no, having more glucose in your diet doesn't raise blood glucose resting levels. Okay, people on low carb diets, really low carb diets and high saturated fat, actually usually have higher blood sugar. Fit, active people don't get high blood sugar just from eating a bunch of it because we process it and burn it very quickly. We utilize it quickly for fuel. Okay, so it actually stays really normalized. If everything is functioning correctly in your body, you're athletic, you're fit, you're metabolically healthy. But if you're consuming too much of the refined sugars, you see where we're going, you're not going to be metabolic healthy. You're going to develop potentially metabolic syndrome, which we no longer process insulin and glucose correctly or as efficiently anymore. Then we run into problems. All right, then we run into problems. So the difference here is literally the digestive process and the way your body converts it. So that fructose in your fruit, generally very little of it reaches your bloodstream as fructose. Whereas in refined sugars, all of it does. Every last gram of it is going to be absorbed in the upper intestine. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.